here from Women's App Workout, and I am here to talk to you about some great stretches for your hips. It's super important to keep this area stretched and flexible. This is going to help you prevent back pain, especially in the lower back area. It's going to be able to help you run better, work out better. It's actually going to make you feel better if your hips are stretched and a little bit more open than usual. Our hips get super tight when we are constantly sitting, which if you think about your day, how many hours of the day are you actually sitting? You're probably sitting to and from work in your car or on the train, and when you get to your desk at work, you're often sitting. Sometimes just maybe moving around a little bit. Other ways that our hips are going to get super tight is from constantly running. The motion of actually running tightens up your hips, and even walking is going to tighten up your hips. Hips are a really strong muscle area and not an area that enough people stretch. A lot of my clients I see, they come in and they're complaining of lower back pain, and when we go to do some of the hip flexor stretches I'm going to show you, they have no flexibility whatsoever. So this is a really important exercise. We're going to stretch, when we open up our hips here, you're going to feel less back pain, because this, when they're tight, it's going to pull on your lower back and it's going to make this area really, really tight. I personally have some issues with my lower back, so doing hip flexor stretches and stretches for my hips are super important to prevent any further injury in my lower back area. So go ahead, keep watching, and I'll show you a couple of great hip flexor stretches you can do at the gym or at home that are going to really open up your hips and help you prevent injury. So the first stretch that I'm going to show you is going to help open up the iliopsoas muscles, and it's called a hip flexor stretch, and it's really going to help with the loosening of your hips and to help with that hip mobility. The iliopsoas muscles run right in, and I'd stand up but then you wouldn't be able to see me. They run right in the side of your hip and into your pelvic bone, and this is a major muscle that actually, when it's tight, it's going to make your hips tighter. So I'm going to show you this exercise from the side, the stretch from the side, and I'll explain it as I go through it. So you're going to need a mat because you're going to be on your knees. You're going to want to put one foot forward and put one foot behind you in this position. And then with the back foot, and you're going to want to put the front just a little bit further forward so that you are going to then roll your hips forward. And this rolling motion is actually, I already am feeling this. It's going to open up the hips and the iliopsoas muscles right in here. Now, right from here, I'm taking, so I go straight into, I don't know what you want to call this, on one knee position, and then you're just going to take your hips and roll them forward. And right as I roll them forward, I'm going to lean a little bit and I'm pulling back with my left leg. So pulling back with my left leg is really opening up this area. Then to make this and get even deeper into the stretch, you can raise your hand up and turn your body the opposite direction. So since my left hip is down, I'm going to turn my body to the right. And then you can even grab your glute and squeeze your glute to really feel that. The whole time I'm doing this, I'm still concentrating on curling my hips under and tucking in the tailbone as I turn to the side. And when you do this, you want to hold the stretch about 30 seconds to really feel it. And if you don't think that's enough, relax, take a deep breath, and then go back into the stretch and really feel it. And you should feel this side totally opening up. I'm going to go ahead and do it from the other side. So then you switch legs, one leg forward, one leg back, tuck your toes under, and again, so my body's straight, I'm going to tuck my tailbone under, lift my arm up, and then turn. Since it's the other side this time, I'm going to turn and face you, the camera this time. Play with, when you're, depending on how you feel it in your hips, play with your toe position. It sounds silly, but the way that your toes are, I actually am just playing around with it, stretches the different parts of the iliopsoas muscles and where you are super tight. So make sure you get in and play so that your toes facing down and that you're really tucking the tail under and stretching. Excuse me. Okay.